I was all set to attend Jane Austen Day at the Huntington when my friend sent me a screenshot showing rain. That didn't work with my outfit, so I went back to the drawing board in my fabric stash and started just kind of pulling fabrics that I thought would work for a Regency gown. I ended up not having enough fabric that would fully match just one pattern, so I decided to kind of mix and match what I did have and see if I could make it work. I used Hatch embroidery to take this Padme design from her olive gown and digitize it so that I could embroider the design onto my gown, and pulled out this simplicity pattern. I've used it before, but I discovered that I had misplaced the sleeve pattern for my size and also the entire front piece of the skirt. It was really weird. I have no idea where they are. So I kind of just eyeballed it and made up my own pattern based on what I thought it would look like, but I didn't have enough fabric. As you can see here, I was about 8 inches short on the front piece, or maybe that's the back piece, but anyway, I was short, so I had to kind of squeeze everything in to make it work, and as you can see, I just barely had enough. Once the fabric was cut out, I went ahead and aligned it all how it needed to be from my machine and got started on adding all the embroidery. This took forever. Each motif of 3 in a row took about 35 minutes, I want to say. Don't get me wrong, they came out beautiful. However, I'm still learning, and so some of them were messed up, some of them weren't perfectly straight. It was a whole thing. While that was happening, I pulled out my Dressing a Galaxy book and decided to remake my Padme brooch. I've already made a couple of these, but it's been a while, and since I have some new skills, I decided to try them out. I took this Hildy and Joe kind of metallic silver thing, some leftover scrap fabric from the coat, and then just started collecting supplies. Once I had done that, I traced a circle with some chalk onto the scrap fabric, and as you can see here, the silver metal portion is going to go over all the beads in that area. With that mostly situated, I started pulling out the rest of the items that I would need, the big thing being beading needles, because I would be working with seed beads and I wanted to make sure that they would fit over the needle. The brooch also has these dangling sections, so I took just random beads that I had in my stash that were a similar color and kind of just figured I'd make it work when I got to that point. After that, it was basically just pinning them all and then sewing them into place. This took quite a while, but honestly, I was switching back and forth between beading this and then jumping over to the embroidery machine, taking out the fabric and then realigning it so that I could then embroider more of the designs, you know, the whole thing. So it was basically me doing this for half of a day, and as you can see, it was coming along really well. I'm so much better at beading than I was when I first attempted these 4 years ago, and you can definitely tell in just the overall stitches and the quality of the beading.